Now, AMCU can go on a protected strike at Sibanye Gold, where the other unions do not hold a majority. But it is also threatening at the moment to strike at Harmony and Anglo Gold. That's despite the fact that agreements by the majority are extended to minority unions under current bargaining rules. AMCU has been disputing the membership figures, and its right to strike at these other mines may have to be determined by the courts. The union says it will wait for the Labour Court's ruling on the union's 2013 appeal to strike before serving notices. It appears that any industrial action will be delayed until next year. Now let's move to this. The head of the Competition Commission, Tembinkosi Bonakele, has raised concern about the lack of educated experts or technocrats in the public service. Commissioner Bonakele says the lack of expertise shows in South Africa's lack of policy direction. Writing in today's Business Day, or BDLive, he also says that taking chances with our economy is like collective suicide. Well, we've invited Tembinkosi Bonakele to join us to explain. Good evening to you, Commissioner.
Good evening.
So firstly, this is a brave move. First, tell me how closely your position is tied to politics, if that makes sense.
Well, I head the Competition Commission, which is an independent body, but broadly within the public sector. But you're right, this is brave, but this is an important and necessary discussion that I'm raising. I think that people should be free to raise things like these if we are to move forward as a country.
We live in a democracy. Okay, so your main concern is the diminishing voice and role of technocrats in South Africa. Tell us more.
That's right. I mean, and I'm not the only one, by the way. There's been calls even from the ruling party that we need to professionalize the civil service. I think that we are decrying the lack of expertise and professionalism within the civil service. And also you need people there to stay, you know. So if you look at the average tenure of the Director General in government, that's often linked to the minister's term. Now, that's not healthy. If we are to weather many of the storms that we are likely to face as a developing country, we need a very capable civil service.
I spoke to a deputy minister recently who was saying it's not only us. Politicians are appointed to the top echelons across the world. But I guess what you're saying is this idea that you have politicians at the top. They should still be skilled. But beneath them, you need an institution run by professionals. And like you say, it should be pretty stable, not subject to political whims.
That's right. I mean, politicians are needed. Strong politicians and informed politicians, make no mistake, are crucial for a developing country especially. But the skills should lie on technical expertise, people who are educated to do things, to run the SABC, for an example. You need to be highly skilled. It's not easy to get a signal to a home. There's a whole host of experts you need in order to be able to do that.
So
not just the politician.
qualifications count?
That's right. Yes, this is exactly one of the things that I'm raising. That we should have properly qualified people. And in fact, I submitted this article last week, and I was pleasantly surprised that some of the issues did come out even during the ANC's National General Council. This issue around fixing parastatals, because I'm saying in the article, if we let our parastatals die, we may not be able to rebuild them, because you need all of the qualifications and skills to do that. The SABC used not to have a competitor. It was the only employer in town. Now you must understand as a parastatal that you now have a multiplicity of broadcasters who are competing for your skills. Some of them are even moving overseas. This is a crucial issue that we need to deal with. Who is leading in the public service? Who is leading in the parastatals? It's a crucial discussion.
When it comes to state-owned entities, I don't know what you think, but I was in China recently. The deputy president was there, a few ministers were there to look at the strong state-owned entities that China has, although that's in doubt at the moment. But Lynn Brown, for example, was saying that that state-owned entities can be the engine of this economy. However, what I observed in China, there seems to be a cultural professionalism, that saving face. So even if you have one company, people are still compelled to do well. In South Africa, do you think that we need competition much more?
That's right. I mean, competition is a good discipline for performance. In China, by the way, whilst they have grown using these parastatals, part of their institutional reforms currently is to introduce competition even amongst parastatals themselves, because that introduces this level of efficiency and discipline. But most importantly, accountability. You can't run corporations and even the public sector without accountability. Now, China is a good example because it's one of the countries we refer to sometimes as a miracle. There's no miracle about China. All the things that have happened in China, people will tell you, as a result of detailed planning and execution. And this is what we need in this country. By skilled
professionals.
That's right, yes. I mean, look at the leadership in China. Highly professional layer of people leading in the public service.
Hasn't the ANC accepted this? I remember years ago, President Jacob Zuma looking at politicians in municipalities, for example, political appointments, acknowledging that undermines service delivery. Are you just not seeing much change since then?
No. The thing is, the culture we are setting in. So it's not just about the talk, it's about the culture. So if the culture within the state and parastatals encourages mediocrity, then those who are in the middle, the technocrats, they run away because they don't like mediocrity. So you see them going in droves to the private sector because they are not fulfilled working amidst mediocrity. So we've got to fix the culture. I mean, countries like France have done this, where working in the civil service is a source of pride because good people have come out of that system.
How do you fix the culture? And finally, do salaries count as well? We're talking about qualifications, but the private sector is seen as more alluring. Is salaries a problem, or is it not that?
I don't know. I think people are very proud of their countries and nations and want to serve them. And all we need to do is to create the right environment for them. I don't think salaries are that much of an issue. Of course, if you are in a competitive sector, you've got to pay competitive salaries. But fundamentally, people want good leadership, ethical leadership with integrity, vision, and a clear sense of where we are going. That's what is going to help us fix, especially the public sector. Clear policy directions, not contradictions. This is what motivates people to stay on because they have a sense of purpose.
We want to be working for a company that we're proud of.
That's right.
I agree. Thank you so much for explaining your opinion to us, the head of the Competition Commission, Tembinkosi Bonakele.